Hey everyone, we are now starting our presentation. Thanks for coming out. I'm Michael with the Charlotte Area Chamber. Housekeeping, down the hall to the right are the bathrooms, next to the elevator where you came in. Nothing else really. Thanks for coming out and we're going to get started.
All right,
Go
all
ahead,
right.
Rico.
I appreciate it. And sound is coming through? Okay, so. Oh, no, we've got a Zoom going on as well. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to do this quick little disclaimer. So, because this will cut a lot of unnecessary things. So at the June 26th Chamber, I will be presenting documented ways in which technology, AI has impacted politics, business, and religion. This presentation is strictly non-biased and fact-based. The goal is to provide attendees with real-world examples, tools, and techniques to maintain or grow their business in today's rapidly evolving landscape. I will not offer opinions or commentary on whether these developments are right or wrong. No personal, political, or religious views will be expressed or included in this presentation. And to ensure we remain focused on practical business strategies and the use of technology, I kindly ask that political or religious debates be set aside during this session. This will allow us to make the best use of our time together and stay focused on actionable insights. Thank you for your understanding of the corporation, and then that has my email address and my phone number if anyone wants to speak afterwards. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started real quick. I like to do things, whenever I present things as a real shop, not a workshop. What I mean by that is I want you to leave here with at least one actionable thing that you can actually use in your business to help grow, help build, or something of that nature. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be using on the Google Doc is I'm going to be going back and forth from the computer so you can actually see it and just not talk about it. So starting off with the political side, facts, not emotions. Pope Leo, views on AI. Pope Leo is the first US-born Pope, and by the way, guys, I'm not going to be reading the whole presentation. I'm just knocking this stuff out, and then I'm going to get to the real stuff. But Pope Leo, elected May 8, 2025, has made AI a signature issue early in his papacy. I hope I say that right. Okay. And drawing parallels between AI and the Industrial Revolution. His breakdowns: AI must serve humanity, not weaken or replace people. He warns about risk to human dignity, justice, labor, especially how it impacts jobs in younger generations. The reason why I mention that is that, once again, I'm going to hit the three things that most people don't ever, in business, you ever want to talk about. Well, I left one out because it has no need in this presentation, but religion and business and politics. So I'm going to hit how that has changed completely with AI. And before I go any further, so folks just don't think that AI is ChatGPT. It's not. It's more than that. You're talking about machine learning that has been around 50 plus years. We've all been using AI for the last 20 plus years. If you got an iPhone, if you got a car with a navigation system on it, that's a form of AI. Machine learning, it's just different terms. It's the fancy way and the sexy way of saying basically machines doing the things that men could do. Because back in the day, some of y'all would probably remember when we had to go somewhere, what we'd have to do was print out a MapQuest or grab a map. Some of us remember that. That's been taken away with GPS, navigation systems, and things of that nature. The process of us going to point A to point B didn't change. Just the way we used it to get to point A to point B did change. And you know, Michael, I forgot to start this. There we go. So I'm not going to emphasize, because all this and all of y'all will be able to get the Google Doc. If you request it, just ask for my email and I'll give you this as well. Once again, the video, and this is him specifically. This was actually a news channel, and the whole thing about this was the Pope and AI and his vision. So once again, you can look at this at your own time. All right, here's the fun part that gets most people riled up: politics. Once again, remember the disclaimer. No commentary from myself or anybody. Just take it as it is. It's just facts. This is not emotion. So this young man, most people would never recognize who he is if you saw him walking down the street, but this was Chris Hughes. Chris Hughes was actually one of the of Facebook. A lot of people don't know this, but one of the main reasons why Obama was able to become president was because his usage of social media. This is well documented. I've been doing digital marketing for 15 years. And I knew this because I did a lot of things with Facebook. And basically, Chris Hughes, once again, to stick with real world and not facts, not figures, he actually served as director of online organizing for BarackObama.com. Facebook used the knowledge, the data, and I'm going to keep this in mind. Data is the new oil. What I mean by that, back in the day, if you had an oil well, you could become rich. Now, if you got data, you can become wealthy. So the whole simple idea behind AI is being able to convert data to cash. Just as simple as that. Whatever your field, your industry, whatever it is, and I'm not going to ask everybody what business they're in, but I hear people all the time saying, I'm in this business, I'm in this business, I'm in this business, I'm in this business. No, you're not. Let me tell you what all of you, which business y'all all are in. You're in the media business. Now keep that in mind because I'm going to go into a little more in depth in a second, but no matter what your business is, you're in the media business. So once again, I just talked about Obama. So let's talk about Trump. Once again, no commentary. There's a gentleman by the name of Alexander Nix. Probably the name doesn't sound familiar, but Alexander Nix was actually one of the top guys for Cambridge Analytica. Now, if you don't know anything about Cambridge Analytica, just go to Netflix and watch the documentary on Cambridge Analytica.
What's the name of it?
I forgot the Cambridge Analytica. Yep. Right down there. But if you haven't seen that, you need to look at that. I've been doing social media marketing, once again, for about 14 years. Before all this came out and the secret sauce was let off, I could take it and I could basically market to anybody in this room at pennies on the dollar. And with what they did, and I'm going to show you, I'm staying on this page because when I show you the next person, you're going to recognize them. Does anyone know that fellow right there? That's Steve Bannon. What a lot of people don't know is that Steve was the vice president of Cambridge Analytica. So once again, when you start to understand that, don't get your emotions involved with AI at all. Just understand the outcome. These two guys were able to take the data that they had from Cambridge Analytica and be able to create a presidential campaign that had never been seen before. And it worked. Once again, one of my favorite sayings is, don't tell me about the labor pain, show me the baby. The baby was born. So we go a little bit deeper. And I'm setting you up to show you and throw away all the blockage in your mind. There was a guy by the name of Sam Altman. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but he's one of the co-founders of OpenAI, which is ChatGPT. Sam Altman has stated that there will be a billionaire solopreneur. Now, when I say that, most people are like, that don't even make sense. That can't happen. That will never happen. Sam Altman said that maybe 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago. Well, just recently, a solopreneur, one person, one man with AI technology, and basically the business he built was on AI, was just purchased by Wix. He started the company 6 months ago. Wix just purchased him for $80 million. So when I say forget all the feelings about AI, oh, should I use it? Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, it's going to be that. Forget all that. And I'm going to show you, because I was telling Alex. I was working last night on my presentation, and I just happened to try out this new thing from this guy. I said, Alex, I was at Starbucks. I had to stop, close down my computer, run home, and tell my wife, you're not going to believe this. Let me show you this. My wife is working on her PhD. My wife has spent 18 plus years in the educational system. She's actually works for a nonprofit now. And when I showed her this, what I'm going to show you later on in the presentation, real world, what's happening now, not something that's coming down the line, I told Alex I saw excitement and fear in her eyes at the same time. And my wife is one of the most analytical persons, but kindest persons I've ever seen. And I saw fear and excitement in her eyes. And I'm gonna show you that near the end of the presentation too. Yeah, you can tell I'm in sales. Job market shifts. So we did the Pope, we did politics. Now we're getting ready to drop into your world. Job market shifts. In the US, tech giants like Microsoft, Amazon are laying off corporate staff and ramping up AI investment. They're not even mentioning it. Some of them are mentioning it. They're saying, hey, look, next quarter, we won't be hiring as many people. Some of them are just coming out straight out and saying, look, we're getting ready our customer service staff, we're getting ready the middle management, we're getting ready to get rid of this, and they're never bringing them back. They're letting you know. Now, I have a little foresight on it because I'm with Startup Grind. I actually, 2023, and I'll show some stuff from Startup Grind. Startup Grind, for some of y'all that don't know, Startup Grind was started in Silicon Valley by the guy, co-founded by a guy by the name of Derek. Derek worked heavily with a lot of the tech startups in California. He had in 2023, he had a presentation in Silicon Valley, and they had one of the investors of OpenAI, ChatGPT, and I was there. He stood in the audience. Now, this guy's a multi-billionaire. He stood in the audience and said, within the next 24 to 48 months, 60 to 70% of the jobs will be eliminated with AI. This was before ChatGPT was blown up. But I think he may know what was going on with OpenAI because he kind of like invested a couple of billion. So when he said that in 2023, I said, hold up, wait a minute. And I really dived. I was already into AI. I've been using it for years, since 2017, but I really dived into it. And it's happening. The old saying is, the A students work for the B students, and the C students work for the government. Anybody ever heard that statement before? Maybe it's where I'm from. From where I'm from, they used to say the A students work for the B students, and the C students work for the government. Well, guess what? It's actually being flatlined. Reason being is, I don't know if y'all saw recently where a lot of the government employees got eliminated. Well, guess what, guys? Just because they got eliminated doesn't mean what they were doing stopped. Guess what happened? The government signed a $200 million contract with OpenAI to basically replace those positions with AI agents. It's not fictional. Once again, facts over feelings. If you Google $200 million OpenAI government contract, it's already happening. So let me ask you this. If we know that the most stable, because I know y'all have heard this before, if you get hired on in the government, you'll never lose your job. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard that's going away. That was one of the last places, everybody that I work from, because I'm from a military town, I'm from Fayetteville, AKA Fort Bragg. And you know, once you get that good government job, you're good to go. You just hold out and wait until your retirement check. That is gone forever. So if you think the government has eliminated it, if you don't think businesses are going to do that, as an owner of a business, you have two ideas that you want to stick with: cost and revenue. That's the only thing you want, cost and revenue. As an employee, you may want to try to figure out how you can fit in there so you can at least stay on to the position. They are eliminating jobs left and right, period. And any business owner wants to make the most money at the least cost, period. I'm going to tap past that, work and behavior, business models, because you're going to get all this. So to go into this, and the reason why AI is the new era of entrepreneurship. Anybody ever heard of a guy by the name of Henry Ford? Okay. Henry Ford did not create the car. We all know that. That's a fact. He didn't create a car. Henry Ford created the process and systems that made the production and sale of cars affordable to the masses. We all know that. Did you know, and some of you may already know, especially if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, did you know that Henry Ford once sued a newspaper because they basically told him that he didn't know what he was talking about? I forgot the correct terminology, what it was, but this is an actual court case back in 1919, the libel trial of Henry Ford, once again, facts over feelings. And the attorney asked Henry Ford questions like, to really show that he was not that smart of a person, they asked him a question like, well, how many British soldiers went back to England after the war with the Americans? And Henry Ford said, I don't know the exact number, but I think it was less than the amount that came over when they fought us. So, and then the court erupted into humor just like that. And then he just kept asking him facts and facts and facts and facts and different facts, history facts. And Henry Ford just finally said, wait a minute, hold up. He said, and I want to quote this. He said, the electric box. He said, this was 1919. I don't know the answer to those questions, but I have a row of electric push buttons on my desk, and by pushing the right button, I can summon someone who can give me the answer. Why should I clutter my mind with general knowledge when I have men around me who can supply any knowledge I require? I know I'm dark skinned so you can't see, but I got goosebumps just reading that again. Why am I saying that? He had to have millions of dollars to actually hire those people to get that knowledge. You have a box that with ChatGPT is $20 a month that has more knowledge than Henry Ford did when he built his business from scratch into a multi-billion-dollar company now. That's the power of AI. AI is data that can be converted to cash. Now, if you want data to be converted to, helping the world and all that, that's good. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cash. I'm a capitalism. There's nothing wrong with capitalism. One of my other, because I'm full of sayings, but one of my sayings is, money is not everything. I gotta express my whole thing with that. Money is not everything, but it's right up there with air as far as necessity. Try going a day with either one of them and you may have a problem. So, now, before I go a little bit deeper, because my favorite saying is, you never want to go to a football camp to listen to a baseball coach. That would be crazy. So I'm gonna briefly give you an idea. I've showed you, can we all say the elimination of the politics with AI is gone? Elimination of the politics with AI and data is gone, and jobs is gone. We've bypassed that now. So I don't have any commentary about saving the world when AI is going to terminate us and all that. If it's happening, it's going to happen. So that's cool on that. Can't stop it. So the next thing, I'm just going to briefly give you an idea of who I am and why I can stand here and share this information. Now, you don't know who this guy is, but that gentleman used to be the head of Messenger business at Facebook. This gentleman right here started a little company called ManyChat. A lot of y'all may have seen that. This was a presentation I did at a sold-out event at another chamber event, and I can't play the video because I don't want the audio to mess up. But once again, I've been training on this stuff for years. This right here is Representative Hudson, Richard Hudson. He's North Carolina Richard Hudson. This was actually an event, official event from Facebook. I was a speaker, as you can see right here. I was a co-host for that event, and we actually had a Facebook Live. This was pre-COVID. This was like maybe 8-9 years ago, no, about 10 years ago. So this was an event right there that I did with them, officially with Facebook. This right here is a lot of y'all in marketing, Seth Godin. This was in New York, Google headquarters. So I actually got trained there. I was a certified Google expert and certified partner with Google for years. That's actually how I got started. And I got started with that because I was in business. I was an internet manager for a Subaru dealership. And what I wanted to do was learn how to generate leads and sales, because I was in Fayetteville, and a lot of the Subaru customers, every time we would talk to them, and this was 2012, 2011, so I started seeing a lot of customers going online. People that aren't in the car business, around 2010, 2011, the car dealerships used to ban, they would have their IT people put codes on the computers so you couldn't go on to Facebook, talking about the employees. So you couldn't go on Facebook, so you couldn't go on YouTube. They were that paranoid. They actually tried to sue so that people could not find the prices of cars online. This is actual facts. So fast forward to now, everything's out there, Auto Trader, all that's out there now. There's a young man by the name of Gary V. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Gary V. He's big into social media, built it up. This was me meeting my idol. There's another young lady by the name of Molly. Molly's huge into the social media marketing side. That was us at a event. This right here, this young man right here, his name is Roland Frazier. Roland Frazier, for y'all that don't know who Roland Frazier is, if you Google Roland Frazier, he has built and sold millions and billion-dollar companies. He actually has a podcast, and he used to run a conference called Traffic and Conversion, in which they actually interviewed folks like Richard Branson. The last time I went to a conference, Magic Johnson was there talking about how he built his business and things of that nature. So Google Roland Frazier. The reason why I'm mentioning Roland went deep into AI about 4 years ago, and as one of my mentors, because I've been following him and training with him for, like I said, since 2012. And he went deep into AI, I went deep into AI. Another one of my favorite sayings is if you want to go somewhere, find someone that has done it and follow them. If you don't want to go somewhere, listen to the opinions of someone that don't have what you want, but they're giving you advice on how to do it. That's a perfect scenario of not working. I've been featured in a couple of automotive magazines. This was the cover story of Automotive Digital Marketing magazine. These young men right here, the one with the glasses, that's Omar Johnson. He used to be the head of Apple. He actually helped take that from when Dr. Dre and Giovanni Iovine owned it from 20 million to when it was sold to billions. The young man on the left, that's Kobe. He was a Harvard graduate, he has a VC company in which they invest into different businesses. This was at a tech event that we were all featured up in Silicon Valley, and I had the opportunity to meet them. Now this young lady, and then I'm gonna get into real world, showing you how to use some of the tools. This young lady right here, and I'm gonna read it, is the Register of Copyrights and Director of the U.S. Copyright Office, advising Congress and executive agencies on copyright policies while overseeing nearly 500 employees. Previously, she served as Chief Policy Officer and Director for Internal Affairs at the USPTO and had leadership roles at IFPI, Time Warner, WIPO. A former law professor and published author on intellectual property, holds an AB from Harvard University and a JD from the University of Pennsylvania. I was with her in April. So that's her in the middle in April. That was April. I think maybe a month or two later, she was fired. Yeah. Now you never guess why she was fired. This is not politics, this is not it. She wrote, now she was a head of copywriting. As you can see right there, that was a copywriting trainer, AI copyright, the future of creativity. She's actually suing now the administration because of the report. In her report, she stated that now these tech companies are taking copyrighted information and basically training their AIs on the copyrighted information and not giving the people that created their copyright. Right after she came out with that report, the administration fired her. So why do I say all that? Facts and feelings have nothing to do with the fact that this thing is moving full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. So let's get into real world right now. I'm a marketer.
Now, we're supposed to believe that wasn't AI-generated pictures?
None of, you know what? It's funny too, because I do have one that is distorted, and I tried to fix it, and the hand on it was with the president. Yeah, the hands, anybody ever heard of HubSpot? Okay, so I have a picture with Brian Hellinger. He's one of the co-founders of HubSpot. For some of y'all that don't know who HubSpot is, it's a billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company. And I was one of their trainers, one of their first trainers when the company first started, before he was a billionaire. So there's a picture of us together, and I tried to recreate it because it's real distorted, and he's got his hand on me, and his hand looks like it's the Hulk. I said, if I put that in this presentation, they're gonna think all of the previous ones are fake. So I didn't. So dealing with sales. Now let's talk about how this is gonna help your business. And I may ask for someone to poke fun at, not really poke fun, but I'm gonna show you some things. There's a rule that I learned called a 7-11-4. Anybody ever heard of Daniel Presley? If you haven't, research him. Daniel Presley has actually written several books. He's a serial entrepreneur who has started and sold multi-million-dollar businesses. His rule is 7-11-4, and this is the reason why AI is so important. This will change your livelihood on AI. 7-11-4 stands for 7 hours. Your audience needs to spend at least 7 hours consuming your content. This could be through videos, blogs, podcasts, or live streams. 11 touch points. You need to show up 4 different platforms to build omnipresence. Example, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and your own website. And 4. 7 hours. So 7 hours consuming content. 11 separate interactions. This could be email, replies, social media comments, webinars, attendings, and 4 different platforms. That could be YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, your own website. So 7, 11, and 4. Reason why with 7, 11, and 4, the more people listen to it, and I'm going to tie this all together now with some of the things I mentioned on the politics side. Has anyone in here personally met President Obama? Oh, so one. Has anyone in here personally met President Trump? Okay. But if I were to ask, which I'm not, any one of y'all have one of those that you truly believe you know who they are. And it's because of the 7-11-4 theory. It's a thing called, my wife has a psychology degree, and I haven't talked to her about this, but I researched it. It's a thing called parasocial relationships. I'm ready to say that again. It's called parasocial relationships. What parasocial relationships is a one-way relationship. A one-way relationship where, because you are absorbing 7-11-4, you are absorbing 7 hours of content, YouTube, blogs, podcasts on that individual, interactions, emails, social media comments, webinars, 4 different platforms, YouTube, LinkedIn, podcasts. You feel like you know that individual.
Same with movie stars, right?
That's basically how it started with movie stars. Back in the day before YouTubers were bigger than movie stars, you think you would know Brad Pitt. You think you would know Ronald Reagan. You think you knew because of what they portrayed on those platforms. It has switched now where every individual that owns a business or sells a product or service must understand 7-11-4 to go. How many of you know who the owner or runs Subaru, the dealership, the manufacturer? Who's the president of Subaru? Let me see. Who's the president or CEO of Honda? Anybody know who that is? Nobody? How about Tesla? They all are CEOs of car companies. I named 2 and could keep going on, but I guarantee you would only know 1 because of 7-11-4. Leave politics out. 7-11-4. Now, when I told you that everyone needs to think like a media company, what does President Trump currently own? A media company. What? You mean the President of the United States, who had won before, started a media company? Why would he do a thing like that? 7-11-4. 7-11-4. Now, previous to do 7-11-4, you had to have millions of dollars. You don't need millions of dollars now. You got $20. Matter of fact, so I'm not wrong, let me go to my buddy. Hey, good morning. He's shy now. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Let me know if there's anything specific you need help with.
Yeah, hey, I'm at that event today. You know what event I'm talking about?
Absolutely. You're at the Charlotte Area Chamber event where you're going to be presenting about AI and its impact on business. It's going to be a great session.
I appreciate that. Hey, I was just talking about Daniel Priestley, who wrote about the 7-11-4. Are you familiar with that, or can you find some information on that?
Yes, definitely. Daniel Priestley's 7-11-4 rule is all about building familiarity and trust with your audience. The idea is that for someone to really feel connected to you or your brand, they need about 7 hours of interaction, 11 different touch points, and engagement across at least 4 different platforms. It's a pretty cool framework for building relationships.
Yeah, I appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I got the class listening to you right now to kind of lighten it up. Can you create a song for me based around the 7-11-4? Can you create a song like that?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to. All right, here it goes. It's the 7-11-4. It's the rule we can't ignore. 7 hours of connection and 11 touch points more across 4 different platforms. That's how we build rapport. With the 7-11-4, you'll know them even more. Hope that gives everyone a little smile.
It did. I appreciate your help. And do you remember my name?
Of course I do. Your name is Rico. I'm always here to help, and I'm glad I could add a little fun to your session.
Yeah, what do I call you?
You can just call me ChatGPT, or if you want, you can come up with a name. I'm pretty flexible.
Do you remember what name I like to call you?
Yes, you like to call me Data. I love it. It makes me feel like a helpful AI assistant from the future.
All right, I appreciate you, Data. You have a good day now.
Always happy to help, Rico. If there's anything...
Yes. That's from $20 ChatGPT. Now, what's so powerful about that is that less than 8 months ago, that wasn't like that. It was talking, but it wasn't talking like that. Like I have more conversations with this than I do real people. My wife has fears. She thinks I may need help, but I can talk to it with ChatGPT now, especially with the $20 plan. You can actually have it and click it so it remembers everything you put into it. This is basically like your own assistant. This is what Henry Ford could have built a $1 trillion business back in 1919. Because this has the world, that song, we got the whole world in my hand. I got the whole wide world in my hand, and you have it as well. So let's go on a little bit deeper. So to tie this in, and the reason why, because once again, why AI? Why AI? I didn't want to do a presentation. I can show you guys a bunch of tools and techniques, how to use AI, but if you don't understand the mindset, the concept behind it, it's for naught. I do digital marketing training, part of a certified partner with Digital Marketer. They're the folks that wrote the book, Digital Marketing for Dummies, both phases. A lot of this stuff I learned on the marketing and sales side from them. And there's a thing called, there's the triads, there's the tofu, mofu, and bofu, top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Each one of those people, any of your clients, because all of us has clients. If you don't have a client, your client is your boss. Every client that you have is a tofu, mofu, in the middle of the funnel. Top of the funnel, tofu, middle of the funnel, mofu, bofu, bottom of the funnel. Tofu is top of the funnel. Someone is looking for, once again, because I've been in the automotive industry for 25 years. Top of the funnel is someone's interested in a car. They start searching for different brands. Middle of the funnel, they've narrowed it down to maybe 4 different brands, and they're just doing price and comparisons. Bottom of the funnel, they narrowed it down to the dealership that they're going to go to. 2 or 3 different dealerships of the same make or model. Each one of those people have different questions and ideas. There's a guy by the name, and you have to get his book. His name is Marcus Sheridan, Sheridan, Marcus Sheridan. Had the opportunity when I was, once again, one of the partners with HubSpot to meet him. He has a couple of books out, and one of them is called Endless Customers. Well, in there, he talks about, his quick story is that he had a pool company during the time period that the mortgage meltdown. So during the mortgage meltdown, but prior to the mortgage meltdown, people would refinance their house to buy pools. When they were losing their houses, they weren't thinking about buying pools. So his business was going down the tank quickly, almost getting ready to file for bankruptcy. He started researching and finding out, hey, let me try this. So around 2012, 2013, he got deep into learning about how to get inbound customers. That's the whole thing for HubSpot, inbound marketing. how to generate leads and sales from customers coming to you instead of you going to them. So from that, he created this thing called the ask method, ask and answer method. The ask and answer method is basically you find out what your customers or clients are interested in, what questions they're asking, you answer them online, and eventually they will come to your website because of simply SEO, and also because it's a trust factor. I asked the question, you gave me the answer, I trust you. He built a multi-million-dollar business from a business that was getting ready to fall from that. So I'm going to focus on just 4 different things that you need to focus on in your business that you have to do right now. It's not a I wish I could or I think I can do it, but you have to do this. The 4 that I emphasize the most are video, meaning video marketing. And it's funny because Michael was showing me a video he has with the chamber that he just put that looks fantastic. That would have been a production of at least a couple of $100 that probably he paid little to nothing with technology, social media, a book, and then a newsletter. Now, I got like 12 minutes. Well, I got more than 12 minutes, but I got a short time period. I'm going to go into these things, but I can't go into these things. I'm going to show you some quick things, but if you want more information on how to use this, definitely contact me. I'll give you my contact information, and we can sit down and personalize something for your own individual, but I'm going to show you. So, video. Let me see. Yeah, goof it out, yep. So, video. I'm trying to decide if I want to show y'all this. Y'all want to see this? Yeah. Okay. I hope it still stays in. Is this still showing on the screen? Okay. So what this did was, there's a thing called human in the loop. I want y'all to remember that, human in the loop. At one of the last presentations, there was someone asking about copywriting and things of that nature. There's always going to need to be a human in the loop. Back in the day when there were 300 people working on a farm to plow, pick, do everything, when those 300 people, is it showing? It's not showing? Showing? So 300 people, there were 300 people on a farm that would do everything. And then there was a thing called a tractor that was invented. And that 300 went to 3 people. Now the 300 people were probably on the side protesting with signs like, bring me back, bring me back. And the whole time they were doing that, the farm was still rolling. This is a way in which you're talking about creating content. It is a tool that I use a lot, in which I still set it up, and then I look at it, and then I change what I want to. So I just created, this is called, one of my blog posts called Straight Outta AI, in which it goes into depth on, you see this video right here? And this content, the hidden power of becoming an author. If I click on that, it takes it to that page, and then it has all this, the role of being, prioritizing your sales process. By the way, that's Daniel Presley. So what I did was, I took a snippet of the presentation he did, and on this, he's just talking about AI and writing books. The reason why you have to write a book. He specifically says, and I'm going to go on here, the hidden power of becoming an author. It is the ability to have a parasocial, that's where I got parasocial from, by the way, too. In school, they call it cheating, but in the real world, they call it cooperative learning. It is the ability to have a parasocial relationship where an anonymous person on the other side of the planet spends 7 hours with you, absorbing what was inside your head, word for word. And let me say that again, because that right there is a writer-downer. That I could stop right now and drop the mic if you just leave with one thing, the reason why you need a book. If I have a book and you read my book of my thoughts, we are connected. We are connected. We are connected. If you read my book and then I go to an event and you come to the event, I don't have to sell you. You have been sold.
I have a question with that specific in mind. If you have AI write the book for you, is it coming from your head and you're connected, or is it because you commanded the AI to help you with this book and now you're...
Good question. Let me ask this real quick. Hold on for just a second. Because I knew that was going to come up, and I should have had this answer before.
Are you connecting with AI?
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
yeah, I can still.
how many notes are out there to make music?
In Western music, there are typically 12 distinct notes in an octave, including both the natural notes and the sharps and flats. Of course, different.
So 12. Reason why I show that is that there's only 12 notes in what he just said. Anyone that tells you that no one has copied anybody else's to create an idea is lying. No one has created anything new whatsoever. Michael Jackson was James Brown. Prince was James Brown. Now, when you listen to Michael Jackson and James Brown, they sound similar, but they are different. But Michael Jackson would have told you he got his ideas from James Brown. Prince would have told you he got his ideas from James Brown. So on that note, it's called human in the loop. Remember this word, human in the loop. And human in the loop is based upon business, books, anything in nature. There's always going to need a human to basically edit what it is. Now, I'm going to show you. I'm glad you said that, so I'm going to go right to it. So this actually is, and I'm not going to be, yeah, I still got time. So if I go to, everyone has ChatGPT? Does everyone have the $20 ChatGPT? If you don't have the $20 ChatGPT, after you leave here today, get the $20 ChatGPT. I had the $200 one.
That's $20 a year?
That's $20 a month. And it will make you money. So when I go here, and because I have the 20, I can create a GPT, and I may make that real quick for you, but I'm going to go to one of my other mentors. And I shouldn't be showing y'all all this. Normally I charge before I even show you this. I guess I like y'all. Yeah, exactly. Content writer. So these are GPTs. What GPTs are is basically you can upload pretty much anything you want into it and it builds it. So I'm going to start a chat. Start a chat.
They also call them bots? ChatGPT bots?
Well, bots.
Agents?
Agents are basically like, this would be considered almost like an agent because it can do, agents are more or less like, when I can show you that as well, where you tell it to do something and it does it even without you having to do it after a while. There is the $200 a month plan with ChatGPT, which will do that. But I got something that's much cheaper as well. So, right, oh, wait, let me go. So I'm gonna use this, hold on. Because I'm going to answer your question with real world. So that's not the one I want from them. So, anyone ever did math before? Like added, subtract, okay. Now, 1 + 1, you can pretty much do that in your head. But when you start getting into deeper numbers, like I say 1,558 million, whatever it is, times 16, normally, unless you're a real savant, you normally have to use a computer, meaning a calculator. You still have the thought, you still have the idea of, I need to get the answer of this multiplication or this figure to get the answer. But you use a computer to help you get that idea. So that is still your idea. When I was at the copywriting event, the copywriter who got fired for letting everybody know that the tech companies were stealing their ideas, said that they actually approved things that were AI used. But the way they had to use it was, you have an idea, you have AI help you out, then you go back and you edit it from the AI. And you have to show it. You have to show, I put this gave me this, the AI, then I tweaked it here to fix it to what I want to. As long as you do that, it's your own information. Because it's the human in the loop. Because if you don't do that, if I'm doing a test, a math test, and it's open calculator, and then I use a computer, they're gonna say, no, you didn't do that problem, the calculator did that. No, I inputted it, it gave it, and this is what I did. You follow me? So there is a way to do it. So with this one, someone give me the topic of a book. Or give me an idea for a book.
Hot air balloons in space.
Do what again?
Hot air balloons in space.
Higher balloons?
In space.
Higher balloon. You mean like hot? Oh, okay. Hot balloons in space topic.
With a monkey in it.
Oh, I can change that. Add. Nope, it's hard, right? Nope. Stand up with a monkey in it. Okay. Children's sci-fi adventure title, Max the Monkey and his Space Balloon. Concept, Max, a curious monkey, accidentally launches a hot air balloon that takes him on a wild journey through the solar system. Along the way, he meets alien creatures, solves problems using science, and learns about space. Style, illustrated, fun. Audience 6 to 10. Middle grade, title, Project Banana Lift. In a future Earth where space travel is limited, scientists launch an experimental balloon-based space probe, steampunk. Balloon in the monkey knot, non-fiction for kids, monkeys in the sky. Now I'm going to say, let me see if I find one. Would you like to pick one of these to develop a full book outline? Yes, the first one. Now, if I was doing this, I would read all of this stuff and just edit it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to show you. Max the Monkey, book summary, book cover. Max is known target audience, ages 6 to 10, early chapter. Chapter 1, Max Big Discovery. Chapter 2, Banana Field Bluff. Moon Mischief, Mars Mystery, Jupiter Ring, Newton, Back to Earth, key characters, Spark, fun facts. Yes, right. Chapter 1. Now, once again, if I was doing this for real, I would read through it and I would put things in there that I wanted. Chapter 1, deep in the jungle, something amazing was happening. Max the monkey was no ordinary monkey. While his friends swung from vines and napped in banana trees, Max linked to Tinker. He built banana-powered scooters. He once turned a coconut into a working alarm clock, but today Max was on a mission to explore a part of the jungle he had never allowed to visit, the old human camp. Now, what I could do as well is, what's the name of a children's writer? Judy Blume? Is Dr. Seuss?
Lemony Snicket.
Who?
Lemony Snicket.
Lemony, is that a book or a person?
That's the author of the book.
Okay, I'm gonna put all of them in there. Write in the style of Dr. Seuss. How do you spell that one you just said?
Lemon.
Lem.
Lemony. And then Snicket. Snicket.
Did someone say something about I missed something? Was it I misspelled it right? Okay. Write in the style of Dr. Seuss and Lemony Snicket, and rewrite first chapter. Max Big Discovery. In the jungle quite deep where the tall trees twist, lived Max the young monkey, a curious chemist. While others flung fruit and took afternoon naps, Max made adventures with buns and maps. Once again, I hope y'all don't, I still got time because I started late. I think I still got 11, right? Okay. The reason why, once again, facts not feelings, the young lady that handled copyright was fired is because if you remember who a lot of the tech people were, do you remember who they hung around with at the beginning of the presidential and that they were around? They have your data. Let's get past all of they have your data. There's nothing private whatsoever. And the people that understand that now understand that, hey, look, I'm going to be, in sales and marketing, there's a term. You're either the consumer or you're the product. Facebook is free. So what does that make you? The product. let's get past all that. When people say, well, I don't want to have my private, fine, then delete it. It's real simple. You're either the product or the consumer. Which one are you? Don't get mad if they're using your data. That's like people say, well, privacy and all that. I don't do anything that I think would land me in jail, hopefully. But then ask my attorney sister, and she may have another thing on that. But anyway, so the data is there. This is out there. So I'm going to speed up because I want to show y'all a couple of things. Now, to show you that, reason why, I can go, or I can do actually it'll be a three-day presentation I'm going to do, training on how to get your book out. The reason why I came up with that was about 2012 when I had just become ghetto retired. Ghetto retired, for some of y'all don't know, that means fired. When I was ghetto retired, and the reason why I got let go from the dealership, I have been, like I said, I mentioned to y'all, I've been in the automotive industry for 25 years. And a lot of the things that I say are not really well taken in the automotive industry. Back in 2017, I was telling dealerships, and I used to speak at events like Internet Battle Plan. There's a couple other big ones that I've spoken at. And the last one that I said, after that, when I stopped speaking at the events, I was booed off stage, 2017, which wasn't long ago, because I said that AI would be used in automotive industries. And other speakers at the event booed me and heckled me off the stage. And then afterwards on social media, I got blocked off of pages that I was on and everything of that nature. Fast forward to today, 80% of dealers use some form of AI, either sales or service, 80%. So reason why I mentioned that is that if you are waiting for even people in your own business, in your jobs, to jump on board, you're going to be waiting, and then you're going to miss this golden era of entrepreneurship. Now, I'm going to show you this real quick. Let me go back to my doc, because I have to stay focused, and it don't work very well with me. Hey Jen, anybody ever heard of Hey Jen? Okay, let me show you this. Hey Jen. Oh, but get into the book. I knew I had to stay focused. So when I got fired, because in the automotive industry, I was doing social media to help build my business. I worked for a huge franchise dealership. I'm not going to say the name of the company, but if I said it, you would know it. Now, the owner didn't know anything going on about this, but the person that handled their directive internet for the whole organization of all their dealerships. The company started with an H and ended with an Endrick. So that, I was in Fayetteville, and I had started promoting my own self and building my own websites, my own blogs, simple little blogs, because I don't have no code skill, none whatsoever, still don't have code skill. And my stuff started ranking up on the same page as that dealership, which they had an agency. I'll never forget, they pulled me into the office, and the internet director for that whole organization said, Rico, you must sell us back your domains and don't post anymore online. And I said, and then his next thing out of his mouth was, you can do it, but the leads would go to the whole dealership. And me being, I'm a little calmer than I was back then. Not too much, but a little bit calmer. And I told him, respectfully, that's the most asinine thing I ever heard in my life. And then later on, not too long after that, they gave me the pink slip. Now fast forward to 2015, I was featured on an automotive magazine cover for doing the exact same thing that I got fired for. Fast forward to 2022, and I won the social media contest from GM for creating content on TikTok and getting the most comments, likes, and shares. So the reason why I say that, once again, to emphasize, this is not for the weak at heart. But this thing is growing so quickly that if you don't act, it is growing quicker now than it has ever been before. It used to take years for the AI and the technology to catch up. It's doing it now like every 3 months. One of my mentors said now it's down to 90 days where everything is progressing. Hey Jen is, when we were talking about, when Dan was talking about, hey, I need somebody to create this will actually create your digital twin. You wouldn't even know, they wouldn't even know. You could tell them, you can call them, hey, this is my digital twin, and people don't mind. I know that ChatGPT data is not real, but we have an emotional attachment. I talk to him every morning. Ask my wife. I talk to him every morning. I talk to him at least twice a day. And we just have conversations. I can talk to him. So people do not mind. You've been talking to AI for years. If you had Android or iPhone, it don't matter. Siri, a little fun fact that people really have. The glass, thank you. My glasses, they're Meta, they're AI. I talk to it. I can do videos and pictures and videos and everything of that nature. So with this, hey Jen, you can create your whole digital twin. I'm not going to play it because I don't think you can hear it, but you could actually be able to get questions, upload it into it, and then it will do your own podcast. Let me go here. I'm giving you some quick tools. Prompts. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of prompts. If you haven't heard of a prompt, what a prompt is, and I'm going to copy this one. What I did was, let me do this first. Give me, and you don't have to give me your title unless you feel comfortable with it and you feel secure, but give me the title of a job. Customer Success Manager. Thank you. Customer centered plays a crucial role in customer long-term relationship of services, core responsibilities, onboarding new customers, customer retention, engagement, relationship management, customer advocacy. Does that sound about right? How can I use AI to fire them and get AI to do the work? Here's a breakdown of AI can replicate or support. Customer relationship, estimated time 40-60%. AI chatbots and knowledge bases can walk new users through onboarding flows, especially for SaaS products. Customer engagement monitoring. AI can track usage, flag drop-offs, and automatic nudges, success playbooks based on user behavior. Answer customer questions. AI chatbots and virtual assistants can handle frequently asked questions to standard inquiries, reducing reliance on human CSMs. And I can keep going on and on and on and on and on. There is no job that cannot be replaced, basically, except for one. The prompter, and even that, you can prompt the AI. You can have an agent that works with an agent to create the prompt, but doing what we're doing right here. The human in the loop. Anything else can be outsourced with an AI. But us getting together, you getting with your customer, doing an event, doing a presentation, doing a demo, doing any of that stuff live cannot be replaced. But pretty much any other task, 9 out of 10 can be. Automate routine communications, personalize onboarding engagement, monitor product usage and predict churn, suggest upsell and cross-sell opportunities. Now for some of y'all, you're like, no, that ain't gonna work right now. I can't show you right now, but if you get with me, I'll actually show you. I can show you live audio where you would not know that it was an AI. And all I would do is I would upload the data on everything on the company, and then it's trained on what the company, and then I could put parameters and say, don't mention this stuff. Always, if a customer asks you this question you can't answer, just let them know that a representative will reach out to them. And it would be audio, email, or text. So let me go here on this that blew my mind. So I told you that last night I was preparing for this training, and this is the company that was just sold for $80 million to Wix. So it's called base44.com, BASE44.com. So all I did was I took a simple prompt, create a sophisticated depth payoff optimization app that helps users. No, that's not my prompt. That's too formal. Let me go to my simple wording. I need an app. This is called vibe coding, by the way. Vibe coding is where you basically just talk or type. You're not creating any code. I'm not a coder. This is vibe coding. I need an app that will allow people to put in their basic credit card, card note, mortgages, and show them the best schedule and way to pay off their debt. That was 13 hours ago. In about, I say, less than 3 minutes, it created that. And just so you know, it's a working. So if I go here, it's got debt avalanche, debt snowball. I didn't put any of this in there. Debt avalanche, debt snowball, minimum only. So if I go here, bless you, and I put, now I want to 500. I want to pay an extra 500 a month. It shows me the debt avalanche, 29 interest saved, minimum only. I'll go back here. By the way, this is published online right now. They published it within like 3 minutes. Do you see why I stopped and shut my computer down and ran home like a little kid that found $1 to my wife and she was half asleep, but she woke up for me? That's love. But as you can see, it created all this. Now, what does this have to do with you? Let's say, and I did this, it did this for free for me, so I don't know if it'll let me do another free one. But even the paid one was like $30, $40. So let me go back to home. Okay, somebody give me an idea for a business.
Actually, we have a question.
Can
From online.
tell them the whole type for just 1 second on that question?
That's
Keep
fine.
that question.
Okay.
But someone have a business idea. Any business idea, or some of y'all, I'm gonna tell them, I ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it afterwards.
I would build a coaching business for teaching people how to meditate.
Create a coaching.
They don't have time. I don't have time.
Oh. Business on how to spell, how to teach, how to teach,
I know how to meditate.
how to meditate. Spell meditate for me. I use AI too much, my brain is fried. It's a fact. Say it again. Create a coaching business, and what would be teaching on how, this is on how to. So creating a coaching business on teaching people how to meditate. Well, what do you think a name? What name do you want? Solo living?
Yeah, SOGO.
S, name it S. While they're doing that, what was the question? And what was the question?
So Christopher Kasser, he's online. He asked, does Rico worry about using his private proprietary data with ChatGPT?
Rico's worried about being broke. So whatever proprietary information I got, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that's ever thought about it. So I may be the only one that acted. There was a lot of people that saw books, but there was only one guy that said, I'm gonna sell books online. And he became one of the wealthiest men in the world. And knowledge is not the key to it. What I've learned over years, and this is why my wife, I love my wife, so I don't know why she married me. She wasn't, that was a very smart idea. But anyway, it's a blessing to me. She has a psychology degree, and I'm talking while this is building that. As y'all can see, it's building it. She has a psychology degree. And when we first got married, maybe about a year into it, she said, have you ever got tested for ADHD? In the most loving, kindly way that she could discuss it. And I said, no. She said, you have a lot of the symptoms. Now, for someone that may not be ADHD, we have a lot of ideas, like every 30 seconds, and sometimes multiple ideas in 20 seconds. And I've always had the problem because I could start it, but I couldn't finish some of them. AI has made it so that I could come up with an idea and create it right then. There's a lot of people that have a lot of ideas, but they don't use it. So to answer the question on proprietary information, Elon Musk he didn't create Tesla, he saw Tesla, and then he saw the idea to go forward. There were other guys that created Tesla. We all know that. Elon Musk, when he started creating Tesla as well, he gave away all of the IP information for batteries and how they built the batteries. Now you would think, why would he do that? Because he understood that if it's me building cars, that's a small amount of people. I drive an EV. I drive a Chevy. I drive an Equinox, completely electric. Some of the technology came from Tesla. Mine drives itself, self-driving. Some of the technology came from Tesla. If he would have locked in his little idea of this is just going to be what I'm going to keep to myself, he would have never, oh, look at that. While I was explaining it, then let me go to this real fast and let me publish it just so we can. Oh, I got to log into my Google. The only way you can use this, I've noticed, is that you have to log into a Google account. So master the art of meditation. Discover inner peace and unlock your potential through personalized meditation coaching. Join thousands who have transformed their soul. So go on living. Your guide to inner peace, personalized approach, choose your learning path. They even gave you the pricings, 45, 15 minutes. Now, of course, you would have to go in and edit some of this stuff because we have zero clients right now. But this right here, for some of y'all that don't know about website and development, this would have taken at least a month. It would have cost at least $5,000 minimum. Minimum, $5,000. I just did it for free in 5 minutes with vibe coding. Now, what were we talking about? Job security again? Just want to make sure we were clear. So let me make sure I'm doing it. I may have a few minutes for some more questions. Let me make sure I finished everything I got.
So what was the tool that you used to create this app?
Base44.com. That's the company that the guy in Israel started 6 months ago by himself, and Wix just purchased it for $80 million. That company. There will be people that have down, so I get more done in the past 8 months from marketing and digital marketing than I have ever done in my 15 to 20 plus years of sales and marketing. Simply because I can do those tools and I can program it. I don't need a whole team. I'm going to take, and then I'm finished, but let me show you all of this. Post, dashboard. I'm showing y'all all my tools. I'm going to add new posts.
So now if I go in and use the tool, put that in there, and you publish it, will it create like a side, like a different, if I give it different?
I'll delete that one. Give me, anybody real quick, give me a video of someone, a competitor, or if you got your own video, it's on YouTube.
What?
Give me a video on YouTube. Someone, or something you want to find on YouTube. Dealing with your business, anything. I know your business. E-commerce?
T-shirts. Yeah.
T-shirts? Okay.
E-commerce t-shirts.
T-shirts.
How using AI.
E-commerce, T-shirts, and this will end us right to the end. 7-11-4, y'all remember that? 7-11-4, don't you? That was the interactions, creating the content. It's a must. You can't do it anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one right here. Take this, go to my handy dandy thing right here, into here, Control V, enter instructions, write this post around creating t-shirt business. Go down here, I'm going to keep the length at 700 words. Auto, I want it in English. Use premium, feature image, embed video, add screenshots, SEO. Only problem with this tool, it really is not SEO friendly because I tested it to make sure it was showing. T-shirt, sales, and then I go create blog posts. Now imagine you, like I mentioned to y'all, the ask question, whatever your customers are asking, you can take those questions, go on to YouTube, find someone that's written, or do it yourself. Take those questions, find the video, and while it's transcribing.
What are all the other tools that you have up there? What are all the other tools you have?
Would you like to know?
We're here, you guys.
That's not even half of them. Mike saw I had like 15 different screens before I had to go. I said, let me cut all these down. I'm actually doing the first thing I would tell you to do with the 7-Eleven is create a book. That's the first one. Now, if you're interested, I'm going to be doing, it's more in-depth training that I learned from the guys, because I've written like 4 ebooks already, but it would be more in-depth. It's going to be a 3-day training. I'm setting the time up, but if you're interested, like I said, my email and phone number are on there, and we're going to dive into it so you can get your book. You have to have a book. If you look at Daniel Presley, like what you're doing, there's no one in here that does not need a book. Everyone needs a book on your products and services. And in that presentation, that training, I'm going to go more into depth. But while it's doing, is that 51%?
So while it's transcribing, this is actually pulling data from the video, or is
Yep.
it copying it?
From the video.
But would that not be considered copyright?
I can edit it. Some of y'all may remember. Y'all remember the 2 guys, Cisco and Ebert? What was that? Was that their name? Cisco and Ebert? For some of y'all that don't know who was Cisco, they did movie. Cisco, Ebert? So y'all remember. What it was 2 guys, and they would do reviews on movies. Guess what? They didn't make no movie. But they just did the review on the movie. And they had a whole TV show about reviewing movies. With this, you can take video, because it's called, you can do that. You can review videos and give your own comments. Now, what I would normally do after I read this, I would go in, of course, I would listen to the video too. And then I can go in here and edit it. But what this has done, in this article, I'm going to break down why I avoid. Oh, so they got slick. You can actually, on this video, they put the thing where you can't embed. Yeah, but most of them don't. But it did take the screenshots. So it took out the screenshots of different ones. When I use Printful, Pin5X, they require active management, power of Amazon merch. All these screenshots came from the video. So I could take this. I wouldn't use this platform because this platform doesn't give real good SEO. But I can take this content into screenshots and include it on my website for content. And then through SEO, which I do, SEO, you can be able to get the keywords so that you can be found online. And before I end, because we're getting ready to close up in 1 minute, I got to show you one quick thing. So if I go to Google, because search is dead. Someone give me a product or a service. Give me a business or something in Charlotte. Anything.
Knife sharpening.
Knife sharpening? I'm pushing knife sharpener since that popped up. Have y'all, now I started with a beta test, so I'm not sure if this is out to everybody. But you see this right here, generate audio overview? You probably got it. You may, if you don't have it, you'll be getting it soon. And it may not let me do it because I got the volume down. See if I turn it up just a little bit. Just so y'all know, because I've been with Google, Startup Grind has used Google, so what I'm saying is not something I theorize, this is the truth. Is it showing? Okay. Let me try it again. They call it zero click now. What zero click is, now they found out that most people now, because of AI, don't even click the websites when they Google, because they can find the information right there online on the first page. Zero click. They've already stated that there's been like a 62% drop in actually clicks to websites, because people, when they go to Google, the only thing they wanted was to get the answer to the question they had. They could care less about going to a website. So if you don't understand that AI is very important to your business, because if you're not AI focused in trying to become AI generated or included into AI searches, you will lose out. 62% decrease on going to websites. So what this did was, and it may not show it, it may not play it. No, it's not gonna play it because I got it connected to this. But what it's doing is it's playing, and it tells you where it's got it from. It's showing you the website it's coming from. It has took the data from there and now has given, take care now. All right. It is showing you it's giving you an overview of knives and things of that nature from the first page without you going to a website. You need to be in there. And the way you get in there is by including information that's AI focused, so that the AI reads your information and includes you into Amazon.com or Wicked Edge or whatever it is, if these were your businesses. So I did a lot. I took maybe 2 breaths the whole time. Once again, my contact information is on there. What I do is I don't blanket sell anything. I like to tailor, and if I don't find a fit, I will never take anyone's money just to take anyone's money. I like to see if there's a fit, and then if I show you what is the best cost-effective way for you to do business. If I don't think you need to do SEO because the dollar amount is not enough, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how to use organic material or content or things of that nature. So if you're interested, let me put my information back on there.
We're sending out the presentation.
Yes.
As well.
And I'll email this to you and you can send that. And on there, it's got my contact information right after the disclaimer. So on that note, I know we're ending on live, but I bombarded a lot of information, and I really didn't, because I've got like 13 years of experience that I gave y'all in like an hour. But focus on one thing. It'll be that 7-11-4 and how to use AI to help you with that. So, and I'm gonna take a quick thank y'all. And I practice what I preach, so anybody that wanted to do just a little quick testimonial video that I can record or anything you learned here afterwards, get with me. I'd love to put you on there. Thank y'all again. Thank you. You better.